of how lawless the state has become.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Neeraj Kumar.
I want to speak in Hindi. पहले तो बेटा के जहाँ की घटना है वहाँ पुलिस ने कार्रवाई किया, यह दुखद घटना है, लेकिन यह भी आपको देखना चाहिए उसी बिहटा का रहने वाला बालू से संबंध रखने वाला प्रोडक्शन कंपनी का जीवन लाल को भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने भी एमएलसी का टिकट दिया। इनकम टैक्स का रेड हुआ उसके घर पर, इनकम टैक्स का रेड हुआ। एक महीने के बाद बीजेपी ने उसको टिकट दे दिया और उस एफआईआर में इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट ने यह कहा कि वो अपने घर से कागजात लेकर करके भाग गए। तो आप तो पॉलिटिकली उसको इनाम देते हैं। और आपको यह भी याद होगा कि इनके जनक राम जी मंत्री थे और जनक राम मंत्री के प्राइवेट सेक्रेटरी मृत्युंजय कुमार के इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंस में जो छापा मारा तो करोड़ों की संपत्ति हम लोगों ने जब्त की जब इनके मिनिस्टर थे, माइनिंग मिनिस्टर थे। और हमको लगता है कि गवर्नेंस को अगर कोई कह रहा हो तो यूपी वाले पर कभी नहीं गवर्नेंस की चर्चा होती है। कि प्रयागराज में गवर्नेंस का कहीं कोई चुनौती नहीं था, कोई मामला नहीं था, कहीं कोई मामला नहीं। उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस ने जो किया तो जो 17 पुलिसकर्मी को सस्पेंड किए हुए अधिकतर हिंदुए था। क्या हो रहा है? बिहार में घटना हुई, पुलिस ने तुरंत कार्रवाई किया, तुरंत 40 लोग की गिरफ्तारी हुई, 3 एफआईआर हुए। लेकिन जरा दूसरे जगह को भी देखना चाहिए, केवल बिहार ही सेंट्रिक रहता है। बिहार में घटना हुई, ठीक है, इस पर डिबेट होना चाहिए, लेकिन यूपी वाले पर डिबेट नहीं हुआ। बड़ा हमको भी लगा कि इतना बड़ा इश्यू पर डिबेट क्यों नहीं हो रहा है भाई? ये तो बहुत गंभीर इश्यू है। पुलिस कस्टडी में मारा जा रहा है, जुडिशियल कस्टडी में मारा जा रहा है और कोई कार्रवाई नहीं, कोई एसपी पर कार्रवाई नहीं, किसी पर कार्रवाई नहीं। यहाँ तो देखिए 40 लोगों की गिरफ्तारी लगभग हो चुकी है।
जी नीरज,
पॉलिटिकली आप किसी को प्रोटेक्ट करिएगा। बालू माफिया सरकार पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं। अब बालू का जो कारोबार कर रहा है उसको बीजेपी टिकट दे रहा है, इनकम टैक्स का रेड उसके घर पर हो रहा है, उसको पुरस्कार में अपने गया टीचर कंस्टिट्यूएंसी से जीवनलाल को एमएलसी बना दिया। ये क्या हो रहा है?
जी
पॉलिटिकली संरक्षण दे रहे हैं।
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल नीरज कुमार जी हमारे साथ रहिए। आई थिंक मिस्टर निखिल आनंद इज आल्सो स्टिल विद अस ऑन द फोन लाइन। मिस्टर निखिल आनंद, वुड यू लाइक टू काउंटर दोस charges, you know, that the JDU is making about the BJP, saying that you are also equally responsible for sheltering people who are essentially attached to the mining mafia? Your response, please.
देखिए, बिहार का एक बेशर्म मुख्यमंत्री आरजेडी की गोद में बैठकर प्रवचन दे रहा है और उनके प्रवक्ता प्रवचन दे रहे हैं। और ये राधाचरण सेठ संत है क्या? इन लोगों को शर्म भी नहीं आती? बिहार में 50,000 करोड़ का अवैध शराब और ड्रग का कारोबार चल रहा है, इसके पैसे इसके, और ये सत्ता संरक्षित काम चल रहा है, इसके पैसे नीतीश कुमार के पॉकेट में नहीं जा रहे हैं क्या? और ये बालू माफिया की बात करते हैं, बालू माफियाओं से उगाही कर रही है सरकार अवैध तरीके से माइनिंग ऑफिशियल्स को लगा करके चीले बांट किए गए हैं। चीले को 30 करोड़ 40 करोड़ में नीलामी चीजों की कर दी गई है और शर्म भी नहीं आती है। आप पिटवाते हैं, वहां अधिकारियों को पिटवा रहे हैं, जनप्रतिनिधियों को पिटवा रहे हैं और इस तरह से अनर्गल प्रलाप करके आरजेडी की गोद में बैठकर आप पिंड छुड़ा सकते हैं क्या इल्जाम से? ये बिहार में
जी नीरज कुमार जी,
मुझे भी बोलने दीजिए। पहला कि डिस्टर्ब मुख्यमंत्री कहा गया है, बहुत गंभीर बात है। खबरदार ऐसी भाषा का इस्तेमाल राज्य के निर्वाचित मुख्यमंत्री पब्लिक चैनल पर करवा रहे हैं। पब्लिक चैनल सहमत है इससे? यस नो बोलिए, यस नो बोलिए। एंकर है आप बोलिए। आप किसी राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के बारे में कह रहे डिस्टर्ब है?
Right, Mr. Neeraj Kumar, I would request you not to. Both of you gentlemen, please don't get personal. This is just a debate about the incident that happened.
नहीं, इंडिविजुअल आरोप आप किसी के क्रेडिबिलिटी पर लगा रहे हैं।
मुख्यमंत्री को माफी मांगनी चाहिए।
मुझे बोलने दीजिए। आप चाहे तो चुप करवाइए, मुझे बोलवाइए।
बिहार मुख्यमंत्री को इस्तीफा
पहला सवाल मेरा है,
जनप्रतिनिधि पहला सवाल है, पुलिस को पिटवा रहे हैं।
अरे
पुलिस का
Nikhil Anand, stay with us.
पूरा सवाल
Neeraj Kumar is asking you a question. If you could just respond to that, and after that, gentlemen, I'm afraid we're running out of time right now.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मुझे यह कहने दीजिए, राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री को अगर डिस्टर्ब मुख्यमंत्री कहा जा रहा है, क्या रिपब्लिक चैनल सहमत है? यस या नो? फर्स्ट। सेकंड, क्या यह सही है कि राधाचरण सेठ जनता दल यू के एमएलसी हैं, लेकिन यह भी सही है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जीवन लाल उसी ब्रॉडसन कंपनी के जिसके जेडीयू के एमएलसी हैं, उसी कंपनी के में पार्टनर है, जिनको बीजेपी ने 1 महीना पे टिकट दिया, बीजेपी एमएलसी बनाया, और बीजेपी यह बताए कि क्या उसके घर पर इनकम टैक्स का रेड हुआ था? इनकम टैक्स रेड में यह आरोप लगा था कि ये कागजात लेके भाग गए थे और उनको बीजेपी ने टिकट दिया, तो यह माना जाए कि बीजेपी को भी इकोनॉमिक फायदा हुआ है उससे, बीजेपी के अंडर हैंड डीलिंग हुई है, इसके चलते आप बालू वाले को
राइट मिस्टर कुमार।
थर्ड, क्या यह माइनिंग मिनिस्टर जनक राम इनके थे? उनके प्राइवेट सेक्रेटरी मृत्युंजय सिंह जब ये सरकार में थे, क्या उसके यहाँ रेड हुआ था? और रेड होने के बाद करोड़ों की संपत्ति, उसके गर्लफ्रेंड तक की बात आई थी, बहुत सारी बातें आई थी। भाई आप गवर्नेंस को आप कर रहे हैं, और नीतीश कुमार नहीं, पहले तो आपको अपना परसेप्शन क्लियर करना होगा। क्या नीतीश कुमार डिस्टर्ब मुख्यमंत्री से आप सहमत है या असहमत है? रिपब्लिक चैनल स्पष्ट करे इसको।
Mr. Kumar, we don't endorse any sort of personal attacks on any leaders over here. Nikhil Anand, quick response. I'm sorry, we're just completely running out of time. So, quick response, Mr. Anand. Right. All right, gentlemen. I'm afraid we are out of time. Thank you both of you for joining us right now. So, both parties, of course, trading charges at the moment and blaming each other for this lawlessness that we see. And here's a quick look at what else is taking place across the country. Now, the Ministry of Home Affairs is keeping an eye on the law and order related developments in Uttar Pradesh after the murders of gangster turned politician Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf by 3 assailants Saturday. People familiar with the development said Monday. Uttar Pradesh police have shifted their focus to tracing the slain gangster politician Atique Ahmed's absconding wife Shaista Parveen, and are surprised that she did not either surrender or turn up for the burials. Well, police have, of course, intensified the search for Atique Ahmed's wife, Shaista Parveen. Union Minister Anurag Thakur slammed the opposition for criticizing the killing of gangster-turned-politician Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf. He went on to say that these same mafia leaders used to attack common people, kill and loot them, but we never heard any of these politicians speaking out against it.
यही माफिया वाले जब आम जनमानस पर, व्यापारी पर प्रहार करते थे, मारते थे, दबाकर वसूली करते थे, तब इनमें से आप में से किसी नेता को बोलते हुए नहीं सुना, क्योंकि यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोलते हैं।
The External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held talks with his Russian Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov, who is also the country's Minister of Industry and Trade, after the latter began his 2-day visit to India. At the meeting, the External Affairs Minister commented on ties between India and Russia, stating that the two nations have historic people-to-people ties.
Let me try to place the economic cooperation in a strategic context. Our partnership today is a subject of attention and comment, not because it has changed, but because it has not. Indeed, it has been among the steadiest of the major relationships of the world in the contemporary era.
Well, the NIA has taken over the probe into the violent demonstration of pro-Khalistan protesters outside the Indian High Commission in London last month and is likely to send out a team very soon to investigate a larger conspiracy. A special investigation team of the Kerala police probing the fire incident in a moving train. A special investigation team of the Kerala police probing the fire incident in a moving train earlier this month that left 3 people dead said Monday that the lone accused Shahrukh Saifi was highly radicalized, and videos of the controversial Islamic preacher like Zakir Naik and Atique Ahmed were recovered from his mobile. A massive fire broke out at the scrap compound in Mandala's Mankhurd area. Police and fire tenders arrived immediately at the spot. The Supreme Court has issued notices to the Nagaland Chief Minister and the State Chief Secretary and tribal leaders for repealing the Nagaland Municipal Act and violating an undertaking given to the court to roll out 33% reservation for women in local bodies after a gap of more than a decade. Well, sources tell Republic TV that the 3 men who allegedly shot Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf were said to be inspired by the jail gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. Now, the operation to kill Atique Ahmed was planned by Sunny Singh, who watched interviews and videos of Lawrence Bishnoi. Sources are also telling Republic TV that the shooters made these disclosures during their interrogation. I'm going to try and go across to Tanisha, who has more details and is reporting live from Prayagraj. But the latest that we are getting is that the 3 people who are involved with the assassination of Atique Ahmed and his brother essentially were inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi. Tanisha has more details on this. Yes, Tanisha, good morning. Tell us more, please.
Good morning to you, Nupur. Well, yes, there's a big lead coming in as far as the Atique Ahmed and Ashraf killing case is concerned, because remember, the 2 Mafia Don were killed on a Saturday night at 10:35 p.m. And now the biggest lead that we're getting is after the 3 shooters were taken, after they surrendered, the interrogation was on, and they have revealed in the interrogation that they were inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi, the jailed gangster. And this was revealed by shooter Sunny, and this is also sources. Now, sources say that the main shooter Sunny was inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi's videos. He used to watch his interviews and the modus operandi that the jailed gangster Lawrence Bishnoi had followed, and the same was followed by shooter Sunny as well. Now remember, all of these 3 shooters hail from different places. One is from Hamidpur, the other is from Banda, and the third shooter is from Kasganj. Now, all 3 had no links. They had never committed a crime together. So what made them come together? What made them come together to commit a crime like this, and crime so serious that they shot down the 2 Mafia brothers at point blank range? Now, the cops are trying out to find the common link who connected all 3. Now, it is that it was shooter Sunny who brought the other 2 criminals, that is Lavlesh and Arun, together. Sunny, as far as we can reveal, Sunny has revealed in his interrogation and through sources that he was inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi. So the quite big lead coming out there, and more information is to come out as the cops are interrogating all the 3 accused in the case. Remember, all 3 of them are locked up in the Sabgarh jail.
All right. Tanisha, of course, is bringing us the latest in terms of the investigation into the shooting of the Mafia Don and his brother. Thank you for the moment, Alicia, for joining us. Now, moving on, registration for the Amarnath Yatra of 2023 has begun, and arrangements in terms of the administration of the Yatra as well as the security have been put in place. Here's a report that's been filed by Zenith.
The registration process for Amarnath Yatra of 2023 has begun from today, and I'm standing at the spot where the Yatri Niwas is being constructed, and also the Shrine Board's office. Though foundation stone was laid in 2021, and now we see that the work is going on in full speed. As far as Yatra and the registration process is concerned, the government has announced that the Yatris can register through online as well as the offline mode. But the biggest feature that the government this time has introduced is this time the Yatra will be Aadhaar based. That means that your thumb will be scanned for the registration process, and the age limit that has been decided by the government is that from 13 to 70-year-old can take this Yatra, and if a lady is pregnant with more than 6 weeks, then definitely she cannot take this Yatra. LG administration has already directed the departments to provide all kind of facilities, be it of the water, sanitation, telecommunication and other things. The Yatris this time will get the best facilities, and this time the Yatra is going to be hassle free, because as far as the security agencies are concerned, we are seeing every day there is a meeting from the CRPF, J&K police, army taking the meetings as far as this Yatra tracks are concerned. As we talk about the Baltalor, for the matter, the Pahalgam route that has seen the Amarnath Yatra attack also few years back, but this time the government has promised to the pilgrims coming to the J&K that they are going to have the best atmosphere, they're going to have best facilities. The government has also announced that this year the Yatra will be of 62 days, which will commence from 1st of July and will culminate on 31st of August. To know more about the accommodation and the kind of work that is taking place here at the Pantha Chowk, I'm joined by the representative of the Shrine Board.
जहाँ श्री अमरनाथ जी का जो कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रही है, बहुत अच्छे तरीके से दिन रात काम चल रहा है और अच्छे तरीके से हो रहा है।
तो आप लोग बना क्या रहे हैं, कौन कौन सी फैसिलिटीज रहेंगी?
जहाँ जितने भी जो यात्री निवास होंगे, श्री अमरनाथ श्राइन बोर्ड की तरफ से जो यात्री निवास जहाँ आएंगे, वो उनका जहाँ ऑफिस और लिविंग जहाँ बनेगा।
तो अकोमोडेशन में कितने रूम होंगे, कितने लोगों को आप कैटर कर पाएंगे?
जहाँ तकरीबन 205 या 250 करीबी जो अकोमोडेशन बनेगी, रूम बनेंगे, और उसमें तकरीबन 3000 लोगों को कैटर कर पाएंगे हम।
Well, a level 3 fire broke out in the scrap compound in Mankhurd area earlier this morning. So far, no casualties have been reported.
Early this morning, huge flames engulfed Mankhurd's mandala. This comes as a level 3 fire broke out in a scrap compound in Mandala. Police and fire tenders were rushed immediately at spot in a bid to assess the situation and control the raging blaze that sent thick black plumes of smoke up high in the air. While the authorities have informed that no casualties have been reported so far, a probe is now underway to ascertain the cause of the fire. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
The SIT's probe into the Kerala blast widens. And huge fire breaks out in Mankhurd.
दशकों पुरानी समस्याओं का समाधान होते हुए आज देश अपनी आंखों के सामने देख रहा है। और कभी कभी लोग कह भी रहे हैं कि हमने सोचा नहीं था कि हम जीते जी ये देख पाएंगे। ऐसा कई लोग कहते हैं और इसके दो प्रमुख कारण हैं। पहला, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों का आत्मविश्वास जो कहता है यस, इट इज इंडियाज मोमेंट। और दूसरा, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों की सोच जो कहती है नेशन फर्स्ट।
Do you think that at every point any agency, whether it's the ED, the CBI, the ACB, questions need to be raised on them?
I personally think that in a democratic country, Parliament must have full control of the agencies as well. Why do we make them into what is called a holy cow, that nobody can touch them? They must be made answerable. You may not interfere in a specific investigation, but at the end of the day, they must be made accountable to Parliament.
You come from the northeast, but then the concept of integrated India, Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat Ka, this concept is very relevant to every state and specifically the northeast.
So I think it's the balance and between that, and I think the leadership along with the flexibility in the constitutional framework that we have is really what will allow this beautiful nation of ours, which has this complexity, yet, as you said, the nation first approach is really what is a way to move forward in. And so I think there is always a way forward, respecting the different communities, respecting the difference that we have, and yet keeping the nation first is really the way forward that we need.
5G सर्विस जो कि एक बहुत ही क्रांतिकारी सर्विस के तौर पर माना जा रहा है। भारत सबसे अधिक तीव्र गति से डिजिटलीकरण करने वाली इकोनॉमी है।
Hello and welcome. Well, India's biggest news event is back. The third edition of the Republic Summit will be held in the national capital this month. The biggest names, the biggest newsmakers, the biggest agents of change and transformation in India will be at the Republic Summit once again this year. So stand by for what will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. India's transformation is for us to celebrate together, to take pride in together. What does this time of transformation mean to you? Tell us what this transformation means to you and send us your video on it via WhatsApp on 7304434381. The most compelling responses will get in-house seats to India's biggest news event, the Republic Summit. Join us in celebrating this time of transformation. It's time for the news now. At this hour, you're watching Live and Breaking on Republic. I'm Rukma with you. Here are the headlines we're tracking at this hour.
यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोल रहे हैं।
Tukre gang lionizes Mafia Don Atique. Union Minister Anurag takes on Atique apologists in a scathing attack. And Atique and Ashraf killers make big revelations, say they were inspired by gangster Lawrence Bishnoi.
शासन की कार्रवाई करके पायलट साहब के करके बताओ, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा। और क्या करेगा फैसला?
But Congress yet to decide on revolt. Pilot camp throws a dare, says be ready to face repercussions. In Patna, a woman officer is dragged, abused and attacked by the sand mafia. But Nitish Kumar is silent. Mega roadshows, rallies and bigwigs set to file nominations. It's a high prestige fight in battleground Karnataka. Complete mayhem on the streets of Sudan. At least 90 killed in crossfire between army and paramilitary.
And in news that's breaking now, ever since Sachin Pilot's dharna, the atmosphere in the Rajasthan Congress has become increasingly more heated by the day. The Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot factions were again seen attacking each other. Meanwhile, Rajasthan Minister Rajendra Singh Gudha has released a statement warning Chief Minister Gehlot not to take action against Sachin Pilot.
चिंता मत करना, मैं आपको बताना चाह रहा हूँ, ये राजस्थान की 36 कौम, सभी धर्मी जात धर्म और जाति और बिरादरी का नौजवान आपके पीछे खड़ा जी जान के लिए और जिस दिन मैं चैलेंज देना चाह रहा हूँ, मार का दूध भी है तो अनुशासन की कार्रवाई करके पायलट साहब के करके बताओ, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा और क्या चला फैसला हिंद भारत.
So Rajendra Singh Gudha there on the fight between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. Anuj joining us for this latest development. Anuj, are we seeing more and more joining, different camps being divided within the Rajasthan Congress?
Well, Lukma, as we broke this earlier also, that the camp is already divided within the Congress party. One camp is in favor of Sachin Pilot, and that's something what we are seeing at this point in time. Our minister coming out in favor and in support and daring and making it very much clear that they don't want any action to be taken on Sachin Pilot. Whereas one camp is backing Ashok Gehlot and they are saying that they want action to be taken. And that's something what we heard from the AICC in charge of Rajasthan, that's Randhawa. But on the other hand, if we talk about the infighting, that continues. But as we broke it earlier, and as I just mentioned it, that this is the camp which is already divided within the Congress party, and the Congress top brasses, including the President Mallikarjun Kharge, is not able to handle the situation as of till now, because no conclusion as of till now. We have seen the meetings after meeting. We have seen how there was meeting with President Mallikarjun Kharge, how there was a meeting at Rahul Gandhi's residence, but nothing has reached to conclusion. Whereas if we talk about the infighting, that continues. The camps has been clearly divided, and this is the camp of Sachin Pilot, who is coming out in open and making it very much clear that there should be no action against Sachin Pilot, making it very much clear, we can call it a threat or we can call it a dare. There they are daring it and making it very much clearly, stating it very much clearly that there should be no action against Sachin Pilot. This is to wait and watch how it is going to pan out. But the infighting continues, and the loyalist of Pilot or the lobby of Pilot is coming out in open and making it clear that they don't want any action against Sachin Pilot. And we are standing with you. The youth of Rajasthan, there stated by the minister, is standing with you. So this is clearly giving support to the Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot lobby is now coming out in open and making it very much clear, daring Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister, that there should be no action against Sachin Pilot. This is to see how it is going to pan out, but no conclusion yet, and the camps are clearly divided. Yes.
Right. Anuj, joining us on the phone line now is Manjinder Singh Sirsa on the phone line. Mr. Sirsa, what does the BJP say now? Because, well, earlier also the BJP had mentioned, various leaders had mentioned about, the kind of factionalism, the kind of, it says that it has become a party of squabbles, referring to the Congress party. Now we are seeing one of a Congress member, a long-standing Congress member of Rajasthan, daring the Chief Minister. Your response?
See, I would say it's power hunger between both of them. One is a young Turk, another is a very old, sophisticated person who has been in power since so many years. And both are power hungry. He do not want to leave the chair and he want to occupy that. So it is nothing for the public sake. They are just pulling each other and ruining the state like anything. Sachin Pilot saying कि वो तो corrupt हैं जी, corruption के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करो. But आप भी तो government थे, you are a deputy chief minister. Why didn't you act against the corruption? It was so But now when he feels that I'm sidelined by this now after getting no response from Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi, so I think he is away now. And most probably either Congress will throw him out or he'll leave the Congress because he has got no choice there. ना ही उसको कोई टिकट देने वाला, ना ही उसको वहाँ पे कोई इलेक्शन लड़ाने वाला. So ये तो लड़ाई आपसी लड़ाई है जो एक स्टेट को नुकसान पहुंचाने का काम कर रही है. दोनों लड़ रहे हैं सत्ता के हासिल करने के लिए, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं.
Well, many thanks, Mr. Sirsa, for joining us there and for sharing your thoughts as well. The Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot war infighting in the Rajasthan Congress coming to the fore once again. Now, a staunch supporter of Sachin Pilot says dares Gehlot to take action and warns him against doing so. And going back once again to Anuj. Anuj, every time, we are seeing for some years now, in recent months in particular, Sachin Pilot comes to a point of breaking away. And then he makes a show of coming to Delhi and, meeting the top brass. Then the top brass doesn't meet him. And then he goes back and he's back in the party again. What seems to be his strategy? What does he really want? What do insiders say?
Well, Rukma, as you pointed it out very clear, that we have seen the same in the past also. We have seen how last time it was Sachin Pilot who even left the party and there was action taken against Sachin Pilot. This time also what we are seeing the parlays of meetings after meetings in the national capital. As you pointed out very rightly, he came back to the national capital, but there was no meeting with the top brasses. Rather, he did not decide to meet. That's something what we have been told, whereas there is one more line which is coming in that the top brasses doesn't give him the time. But let's see how it is going to pan out, what exactly has happened. But at this point in time, let me tell you that the Congress party is in very much huddle. Because we have seen what has happened with Jyotirajya Scindia. We have seen what has happened with Prasada. We have seen with numbers of Congress leadership, the senior leadership like Ghulam Nabi Azad leaving the party, like Kapil Sibal is no more with the party. So this is a message which is going to Kada, and this is happening just before the assembly election. So this is the top brass of the Congress party to handle the situation on the ground, and that's why nothing has reached to conclusion yet. And let me also tell you, Rukma, if we talk about this camp which is divided, if we talk about the lobby of Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, it's not limited to state. But this is in the national capital also. The top leadership, what we have been told, in the top leadership, there are camp divided. One is in the favor of Ashok Gehlot, whereas one camp is favoring Sachin Pilot. That's something what we are seeing. So the top brasses, including Rahul Gandhi, including Sonia Gandhi and the President Mallikarjun Kharge, is still in huddle, is still in trouble. How to control the damage and how to give a message to the cadre, because we are very much near to the elections also. If we talk about the assembly election, this is 8 months. So to give a message to the cadre, to control the situation, the Congress party had to come out with a solution. But because of the camp divided, because of the infighting within the Congress party, nothing has reached to conclusion yet. This is to see, wait and watch whether the party is going to take any kind of action against Sachin Pilot, because this was the line which was taken by Randhawa, who is also the in charge of Rajasthan from the AICC, from the Congress party. He also stated the same, that there will be action taken. But he has not named Sachin Pilot in that, let me tell you. He stated that action will be taken. On the day when this meeting happened, when he met with K.C. Venugopal, later he met with Mallikarjun Kharge. The duo met with Mallikarjun Kharge, the president of the Congress party, but nothing has happened, because prior to that, this was Rahul Gandhi, whom with this particular meeting happened, where the duo met with Rahul Gandhi also. But nothing has reached a conclusion. But this is to see, wait and watch how it is going to pan out, because the Congress party is in trouble. It is again going to be the trouble which is mounting on the head of the Congress party just before the Rajasthan state election, whereas the infighting does not stop, but it continues, and the camps are already being divided, as I told you earlier, that it's not limited to state. This is not limited to Rajasthan itself. But the infighting has reached to national capital. We are seeing that the top leadership is also divided. If we talk about the camp, one is in favor of Ashok Gehlot, another is in favor of Sachin Pilot.
Right.
Yes, back to you.
Right, Anuj, thank you very much for breaking that down for us and for those inputs. And Anuj, my colleague there, telling us about this infighting that extends through the ranks from the Rajasthan Congress to the top levels of the Congress party. Infighting is the name of the game when it comes to Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. But more on that later. Let's take a look at some other stories that we're tracking. The Ministry of Home Affairs is keeping an eye on the law and order related developments in UP after the murders of gangster turned politician Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf by 3 assailants on Saturday. People familiar with the developments said on Monday. UP police have shifted their focus on tracing slain gangster turned politician Atique Ahmed's absconding wife, Shaista Parveen, and are surprised she did not either surrender or turn up for the burials of either her son or those of her husband and brother-in-law. Union Minister Anurag Thakur slams the opposition for criticizing the killing of gangster turned politician Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf. He goes on to say, I quote, these same mafia leaders used to attack common people, kill and loot them. But we never heard any of these politicians speaking against it.
यही माफिया वाले जब आम जनमानस पर, व्यापारी पर प्रहार करते थे, मारते थे, दबाकर वसूली करते थे, तब इनमें से आप में से किसी नेता को बोलते हुए नहीं सुना, क्योंकि यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोलते हैं।
Minister of External Affairs S. Jaishankar held talks with Russia's Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov, who is also the country's Minister of Industry and Trade, after the latter began his 2-day visit to India. At the meeting, the External Affairs Minister commented on the ties between India and Russia, stating the two nations have historic people died.
Let me try to place the economic cooperation in a strategic context. Our partnership today is a subject of attention and comment, not because it has changed, but because it has not. Indeed, it has been among the steadiest of the major relationships of the world in the contemporary era.
The National Investigation Agency has taken over the probe into the violent demonstrations by pro-Khalistan protesters outside the Indian High Commission in London last month and is likely to send a team there very soon to investigate a larger conspiracy. A special investigation team of Kerala police probing into the fire incident in a moving train earlier this month that left 3 people dead said on Monday that the lone accused Shahrukh Saifi was highly radicalized and videos of controversial Islamic preachers like Zakir Naik and Israr Ahmed were recovered from his mobile phone. Massive fire broke out in the scrap compound in Mandala's Mankhurd area in Mumbai. Police and fire tenders were at the spot immediately. More details are awaiting. Supreme Court issues notices to Nagaland Chief Minister Nefi Rio, State Chief Secretary and tribal leaders for repealing the Nagaland Municipal Act and violating an undertaking given to the court to roll out 33% reservation for women in local bodies after a gap of more than a decade. And there's new news that's breaking right now. As I speak, as per sources, The three men who shot Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf were said to be inspired by jailed gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. The operation to kill Atique was planned, they say, by Sunny Singh, who watched interviews and videos of Lawrence Bishnoi. Not just that, the shooters have also made some other big disclosures during their interrogation. And Tanisha, to take us through this breaking news. Tanisha, lots of disclosures now that the three men are being interrogated, the three men responsible for the killing of Atique and Ashraf. Take our viewers through what's happening.
Well, right, Rukma, there's a big breaking news coming in and a fresh lead in the case. Where remember, it was on Saturday night at 10:35 when the Mafia Don were shot dead by these three shooters who were masquerading, who were imposters, and they were masquerading as media journalists. Now, to take our viewers through where they actually hail from, remember all the three shooters hail from three different areas, which is Banda, Hamirpur and Karsganj. So they have no common link with between them. Also, what is known is all the three shooters never ever committed a crime before together. Now, what makes us think is that where were they inspired from? Now, according to sources, they have revealed during their interrogation that they used to watch, especially the main shooter Sunny. He used to watch videos that were inspired by Lawrence Bishnoi. He used to get inspired from the way Lawrence Bishnoi committed crimes, his modus operandi, and many other things. So this is the massive revelations coming in, where it is known through sources that during interrogation, shooter Sunny has revealed that he used to watch Lawrence Bishnoi's videos, and it is through his videos that he got convinced, that he got motivated to commit this crime. It is also said that all of these three shooters came together through the main link, which is shooter Sunny. The shooter Sunny is said to be the main person to get the other two shooters, Lavlesh and Arun, together. This is the big lead coming in, and as the interrogation is still underway and the SIT committees also have been formed, there is more information likely to come out, because remember, these three shooters hail from three different places and not Allahabad and not Prayagraj. So coming to Prayagraj, committing a crime and not letting anybody know about it, smuggling illegal weapons in Prayagraj is a matter of question as to who helped them, under whose direction were they working, and if they were not working under somebody, who were they actually inspired from. And the fresh lead coming in is that Lawrence Bishnoi is the person by which shooter Sunny was inspired. Rukma.
Right, Tanisha, well, stay with us. I'll be right back with you. But now, viewers, from Atique ji to murder due to media trial. As Atique apologists try to lionize the Mafia Don, Union Minister Anurag Thakur has hit out. Let's listen in.
यही माफिया वाले जब आम जनमानस पर, व्यापारी पर प्रहार करते थे, मारते थे, दबाकर वसूली करते थे, तब इनमें से आप में से किसी नेता को बोलते हुए नहीं सुना, क्योंकि यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोलते हैं।
And going back from what the Union Minister has said to my colleague Tanisha. Tanisha, you just heard it as we sounded out our viewers to that bite of the Union Minister Anurag Thakur. A war of words has now broken out. We have Atique apologists on the one side. On the other side, we have those who are now, giving full credit to a completely different UP police under Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath.
Well, right, and for massive words that are spoken out between the opposition and the government. It out at shootout that took place and said that it was a fake encounter, and said that it was all.
Tanisha, I'm very sorry about that. I'll try and connect you later, but right now the audio is totally scrambled. Well, so there are major revelations that are emerging in that interrogation that's underway of the three killers of Atique and his brother Ashraf. Let's take a look at some other news now. In sports, Mumbai Indians and SRH, that's Sunrisers Hyderabad, are neck and neck when it comes to the head-to-head battle in the points table. A total of 19 matches have taken place between the teams, and on 10 occasions it was the Mumbai Indians who have reigned supreme compared to 9 wins of SRH. The MI versus SRH battle will take place next at the Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium today. Despite the heroics from RCB's Glenn Maxwell and Faf du Plessis, CSK have the last laugh as they picked up an 8-wicket win over RCB in a major. Devon Conway, Chennai Super Kings batsman, praised MS Dhoni after CSK beat RCB by 8 runs. Playing for the first time in yellow, Conway revealed he was overwhelmed while having lunch in between Dhoni and CSK captain Ravindra Jadeja. Former England spinner Monty Panesar dissects difference between Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli's captaincy. Panesar explains that Virat Kohli took the game to the opposition. Rohit Sharma is much more composed and cooler than the former Indian skipper. Cristiano Ronaldo names his greatest playing 11 with the players he has rubbed shoulders with in his career. Ronaldo joined Al Nassr earlier this year from Man U on a free transfer, but has not really managed to live up to the bill. Alex Rins wins Grand Prix of the Americas in Texas, claims 100th podium for LCR Honda. In the process, the victory ends Honda's drought, their last win coming at the Emilia Romagna GP in 2021. Larson passes Joey Logano with 29 laps to go and on to win his second Cup Series race of the season on a day when NASCAR welcomed back Chase Elliott. Caretaker Chelsea manager Frank Lampard takes his team through their paces as he looks to turn around a 2-0 deficit on the return leg of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. And Kenya's Evans Chebet wins the Boston Marathon for second straight year after surging to the front at Heartbreak Hill to spoil the eagerly anticipated debut of world record holder and fellow countryman Eliud Kipchoge. Argentina replaces Indonesia as host of Under-20 World Cup next month. FIFA announces the decision just over 2 weeks after Indonesia was stripped of hosting rights. And in news that's coming up, in Patna, a woman officer is dragged, abused and attacked by the sand mafia. But Nitish Kumar still remains silent. Also, mega roadshows, rallies and bigwigs set to file nominations. It's a high prestige fight in battleground Karnataka.
Your friend Mamta Banerjee, she says that आप consult नहीं करते, like on disinvestment, opposition should have been consulted.
हमने सोचना बंद नहीं किया। करोड़ों की संख्या में रिपब्लिक भारत और रिपब्लिक टीवी दोनों को देश में लोग देख रहे हैं। ये सब कभी ना कभी ट्रेन का सफर करते हैं। अब हम चाहते हैं कि वो ट्रेन का सफर अंग्रेजी में SUFFER सफर ना रहे, वो एक सुगम सफर हो जाए।
You think that at every point, any agency, whether it's the ED, the CBI, the ACB, questions need to be raised on them?
I personally think that in a democratic country, Parliament must have full control of the agencies as well. Why do we make them into what is called a holy cow, that nobody can touch them? They must be made answerable. You may not interfere in a specific investigation, but at the end of the day, they must be made accountable to Parliament.
The tone of the leadership I convey to Prime Minister Modi of India.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी G20 इवेंट के दौरान नेताओं के साथ द्विपक्षीय बैठक करेंगे।
You come from the northeast, but then the concept of integrated India, Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat ka, this concept is very relevant to every state and specifically the northeast. So I think it's the balance and between that, and I think the leadership along with the flexibility in the constitutional framework that we have is really what will allow this beautiful nation of ours, which has this complexity, yet, as you said, the nation first approach is really what is a way to move forward in. And so I think there is always a way forward, respecting the different communities, respecting the difference that we have, and yet keeping the nation first is really the way forward that we need.
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से
Good morning and thank you very much for staying with us on Republic TV. Now, the third edition of the Republic Summit will be held in the national capital on the 25th and 26th of this month. It's got the biggest names, the biggest newsmakers and the biggest agents of change and transformation who will be at the Republic Summit once again. So stand by for what will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. Now, India's transformation is for us to celebrate together, to take pride in it together. What does this time of transformation mean to you? Tell us what this transformation means to you and send us your video on it via WhatsApp on 730-443-4381. The most compelling responses will get in-house tickets to the Republic Summit. Join us in celebrating this time of transformation. And here are the headlines that we are tracking at 10:30 this morning.
यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोलते हैं।
Union Minister Anurag Thakur takes on Atique apologists in this scathing attack. Atique and Ashraf's killers make a big revelation, say that they were inspired by the gangster Lawrence Bishnoi.
शासन की कार्रवाई करके पायलट साहब के करके बताओ, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा और क्या करेगा फैसला।
The Congress party yet to decide on the revolt that's brewing in the Rajasthan Congress pilot camps, throws a dare, says be ready or face repercussions. In Patna, a woman officer is dragged and abused and attacked by the stand Mafia. Mega road shows, rallies and big wigs set to file their nominations today for the Karnataka elections. And complete mayhem in Sudan, at least 90 are killed in crossfire between the army and paramilitary. Well, a very disturbing news story that we are bringing to you right now. A 2.5-year-old child drowned after falling into a pit that had been dug to install a water pipeline by the Bangalore Sewage Board. No warning or no warning signs had been installed near this area where this pit had been dug. In fact, Prajwal has more details on what really happened. Prajwal, good morning. A very disturbing story coming in once again from Bengaluru. You know, Prajwal, civic apathy is something that Bangalore has almost become synonymous with.
Absolutely, Nupur, and this has also been the talking or center point for at least for the city of Bengaluru during the upcoming elections in Karnataka. And such civic apathy is going ahead and claiming many innocent lives, not only in Bengaluru but also across the entire state of Karnataka. And in the latest, now we are getting to learn that this 2.5-year-old kid Karthik was playing near his house, at which point of time he fell into an open drain which was dug by the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewage Board as well. And despite the best efforts of the residents who were nearby, they tried to rescue the child, but he was, he wasn't rescued as well. And later, the body was taken out and kept there. And only after which the BWSSB engineer, along with the assistant executive engineer, also arrived at the spot. And for reasons known to the BWSSB, the site engineer had left this entire pit open because they wanted to install a pipe which was providing sanitation underground as well. And because of all these developmental works which was taking place, they had left this drain open as well. And if you look at the pit as well, it is at least 6 feet in depth and around 5 feet in width as well. And this is absolutely shocking. Now a case has already been registered at the Byadhalli police station against the engineer and also the site inspector who was there as well. And the police have taken both of them into custody, and interrogation is currently underway, even as Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has come in for a lot of brickbats, and he is also being slammed in by the opposition, stating that this is the sad state of civic affairs in the city of Bengaluru. Because imagine if such an incident can happen in Bengaluru, it can happen across the entire state of Karnataka at anywhere as well. And despite the huge workforce which is at the hands of the BWSSB, there has been no sort of action which has been taken. And the BWSSB MD will have to also be held accountable in this particular issue too. And the Congress too has gone ahead now and hit out at the government, stating that how many more innocent lives will be claimed by the BWSSB and the BBMP. Because on one hand, the BBMP also goes on, digs roads, and because of potholes, we have seen several deaths which has been reported in the state of Karnataka. In the first quarter of the year itself, we have seen around 10 pothole deaths which has been reported from Bengaluru alone, and many other road accidents too. And this is something which is very shocking, and now the BWSSB will have to be held accountable and responsible for this.
All right. Thank you very much, Prajwal, for bringing us the details of this particular incident. As Prajwal is pointing out, of course, responsibility still has to be affixed on who is to be blamed for this civic apathy. Now, video has emerged from Patna, where a large group of people was seen attacking a woman officer from the mining department. A total of 44 people have been arrested so far, and 3 FIRs have been filed in the case. The woman officer was from the state's mining department, and people who attacked her by dragging and hurling abuses at her were allegedly involved in illegal sand mining activity in Bihar's Bihar town. Now, about 44 people have been arrested in this particular case so far. Pictures on your screen are of this despicable incident that has been reported from Bihar. This woman, of course, belonged to the mining department and was allegedly acting against illegal mining mafia. That is when they began to attack her. Prakash is on the phone line with us. Prakash, even as the police says that they have managed to crack down on people who were responsible for this, these visuals continue to remain very disturbing, and also big question mark on the kind of patronage the mining mafia essentially enjoys.
Well, this has come to the fore multiple times in the recent past as well, as far as the patronage being given to the mining mafia, and questions has been raised on various political parties and the people having affiliation to various political parties. But it is a huge scam in the entire state of Bihar, the illegal sand mafia, especially in the riverine areas of Bihar. And whenever there is a police party which conducts raids at various premises, these kinds of incidences are being reported because of the large amount of money that is involved in this. And this particular incident that took place in Bihar was no exception, where the mining officer along with the team were attacked by the sand mining mafias when the truck were seized yesterday. And the visuals, we can see that the way the officers are being chased. Meanwhile, we get to know that 44 people have already been arrested in this case, and more than 3 to 4 FIRs have been lost. So no untoward incident took place in the process. No casualties have taken place. We get to know from the administration that action is being taken. Police party has been deployed in large numbers. We are trying to track down the mining officer who was attacked, but she's not reacting, or she's not making any statement as of now. And as far as this particular incident goes, this raises a huge question on the law and order situation in Bihar, especially on Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar.
All right. So as Prakash is pointing out, of course, this is the latest that we are getting on this. 44 people arrested in this case. Prakash Singh, thank you for joining us. Of course, even as this was reported, a political battle broke out between the JDU and the BJP over what has happened. Pictures on your screen are of this woman who was attacked by the sand mafia in Bihar. She was allegedly dragged and assaulted by people who were involved in illegal mining. All right. Even as news is emerging about a possible realignment in Maharashtra politics, about the BJP and the NCP perhaps entering into some sort of discussion about alliance formation, we're now getting a reaction from the Union Minister Anurak Thakur, who has said that in politics, discussion over alignments and realignments continue to take place all the time. So let's listen in to what he said.
चाहे वो भी कहीं ना कहीं भाजपा के साथ हालांकि चर्चा महाराष्ट्र के राजनीतिक गलियारे में चल रही है, क्या कहेंगे?
राजनीतिक गलियारों में चर्चाएं चलती रहती है, कुछ खबरों का आनंद उठाना चाहिए।
चाहे वो भी कहीं ना कहीं भाजपा के साथ हालांकि चर्चा महाराष्ट्र के राजनीतिक गलियारे में चल रही है, क्या कहेंगे?
राजनीतिक गलियारों में चर्चाएं चलती रहती है, कुछ खबरों का आनंद उठाना चाहिए।
All right, let's go across to Sandeep, who's reporting on this. Sandeep, there's been talk for quite some time now, nearly a week, about the fact that there could be a real alignment as far as the NCP is concerned. And, Ajit Pawar, of course, has made certain statements that seem to suggest towards it. Give us more details about the latest that you're hearing.
See, Nupur, not only Ajit Pawar but also Sharad Pawar has given such statement which is more likely inclined to Bharatiya Janata Party, be it on JPC or on Adani or on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's degree. Now, as far as sources in BJP are concerned, they have confirmed us that yes, there are talks underway with NCP, but at this point of time, no one is in fact coming out in front and in fact accepting that fact. Apart from NCP's part, as far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned, remember day before yesterday, Sanjay Raut in an editorial had mentioned that BJP is in fact pressurizing NCP and in fact trying to force MLAs in their favor. But at this point of time, there are undercurrent in NCP as well. And in fact, as far as one of the reports from New Indian Express, it has clearly mentioned that 40 MLAs had connected to Ajit Pawar and had given support to him. And in fact, if at all Ajit Pawar makes a move at this point of time to BJP, then he will get the support. But as of now, no one has in fact come in front of media and spoken about it on record. But yes, The talks are underway, but at this point of time, nothing concrete has come out in the air of Maharashtra as of now.
All right. Sandeep, of course, is bringing us the latest on this. Sandeep, as you're pointing out, of course, we haven't really heard anything concrete on this, but there is a lot of talk about the fact that, that Ajit Pawar has been meeting certain leaders from the BJP, and something like this could perhaps be on the cards soon.
See, Nupur, yes, we cannot deny the fact that there are no, internal meetings happening at this point of time. As far as Ajit Pawar is concerned, remember, he had been...
All right, I'm going to have to interrupt you there, Sandeep. I'm going to come back to you. Mr. Kesarkar on the phone line with us. Mr. Kesarkar, good morning. Mr. Kesarkar, we've just had a statement coming in from the Union Minister, Anurag Thakur. He says, political discussions keep taking place on alignment on and, realignment. But the fact is, there is a lot of talk about the news that the NCP could soon be joining hands with the BJP. Can you give us more details about when that will happen and, whether we should be reading a lot into the statement of the Union Minister?
Actually, I cannot comment on what NCP would do, because Sharad Pawar ji has clearly said that he will remain with the Congress and the alliance. But in fact, there are talks in Maharashtra regarding Honorable Ajit Pawar ji having discussions with having such intention, but there are no reliable news that we can mention about this. But certainly there were some statements from Honorable Pawar Sahib himself stating that there could be a split in NCP. So NCP may not join, but there could be a split in NCP. That was indicated by Honorable Pawar Sahib himself. Who could be more reliable source than Honorable Pawar Sahib himself, saying that there are certain things which are happening.
Right, Mr. Kesarkar, I know you are a very busy man, but you are of course telling us at the moment that there could perhaps be a split in the NCP. There could be certain, people from the NCP who would like to join the BJP. Would you be able to put a number to that? How many of these, NCP leaders would be interested perhaps in joining the BJP?
I'm really not aware of all this. But one thing I can certainly tell you, that we have a very stable government in Maharashtra, and somebody else joins us, it will become more stable. Because you need experienced people to look after the affairs of the state and give justice to the people of Maharashtra.
So then you would be welcoming anybody from the NCP who wishes to join the government? Mr. Kesarkar?
Hello.
Mr. Kesarkar, I was asking you, so then does that mean that you welcome anybody who wishes to join the government in Maharashtra?
It is for the BJP to decide, because it is a national party and they will have to decide who supports BJP. We don't oppose it. We in fact welcome it, because it makes the government more strong. And our Honorable PM is leading Maharashtra government very efficiently. And Honorable Deputy CM has already announced that the next election would be fought under his leadership. Because he is meeting the people, he is working for the state. And the kind of alliance they had in Maharashtra, the top leadership of BJP, they are always favoring those people who work, who go on the path of Maharashtra Thakre. And that is how our alliance has happened.
Right, Mr. Deepak Kesarkar, appreciate your speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for that. Deepak Kesarkar over there, of course, telling us that there is some talk perhaps of the NCP breaking away, some of their leaders are breaking away. All right. We're going to get more reactions right now for our viewers, as well as try and get a scoop on what's happening. But just to tell our viewers, there has been a lot of speculation that Ajit Pawar could be breaking away from the NCP, and there is also talk of the fact that there may be other people from the NCP who would want to break away with him. Sharad Pawar, of course, in the past has maintained that he will stay with the MVA, but we don't know how this really is going to pan out. So there could be two scenarios, of course. One, that there might be a split within the NCP. Two, of course, that the whole of it moves towards the BJP. Now, there have been certain statements that have come in from the NCP and senior leadership of the party for some time now. Ajit Pawar, of course, has repeatedly spoken about how he feels governance is doing very well under the BJP, and we've also seen Sharad Pawar speak several times about certain controversial issues which have been raised. So we are still awaiting more news in terms of whether the talk that is there in political circles of the fact that the NCP could be moving towards the BJP is true or not. All right, on the phone line with us is Vishwas Pathak from the BJP. Mr. Pathak, good morning. Mr. Pathak, of course, today there seems to be renewed speculation about the fact that there could be Ajit Pawar from the NCP and certain other certain other leaders from the NCP who could now be realigning with the BJP. Any confirmation or any news that you can share with us?
So there is not a concrete development or any proposal like that. However, BJP is always in the mode of expansion through organic or inorganic way. Those who would like to join our ideology, we welcome them. As far as NCP is concerned, in Maharashtra, there is no any concrete development or proposal as of now.
Right, but have you heard anything in terms of the fact that Ajit Pawar as well as others could be leaning towards the BJP, if I could use that word instead?
See, if you look at it, BJP's ideology all across India, all across nation, all the political parties, including opposition parties, their leaders are getting attracted towards the leadership of Honorable Modi ji and Amit Shah. Therefore, I will not be surprised if people from Maharashtra are also getting aligned with BJP.
All right. Vishwas Pathak of the BJP, appreciate your speaking to us. Thank you very much for joining us. So there you have it. No confirmation coming in, but at this point in time, of course, there is a lot of speculation that there could be a realignment of the NCP and it could be looking towards the BJP. And here's a quick look at what else is making news this morning. The Ministry of Home Affairs is keeping an eye on the law and order related developments in Uttar Pradesh after the murders of the gangster turned politician Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf by 3 assailants Saturday, I beg your pardon. Now, people familiar with the development have said that the Uttar Pradesh police have also shifted their focus to tracing the slain gangster turned politician Atique Ahmed's absconding wife. The UP police are looking for Shaista Parveen, the wife of Atique Ahmed, and are surprised that she did not either surrender or turn up at the burials of her son or those of her husband and brother-in-law. Union Minister Anurag Thakur has slammed the opposition for criticizing the killing of the gangster-turned politician Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf. He said that these same mafia leaders used to attack the common people, kill and loot them, but we never heard any of these politicians speaking out against it.
यही माफिया वाले जब आम जनमानस पर, व्यापारी पर प्रहार करते थे, मारते थे, दबाकर वसूली करते थे, तब इनमें से, आप में से किसी नेता को बोलते हुए नहीं सुना, क्योंकि यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोलते हैं।
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held talks with Russia's Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov who is also the country's Minister of Industry and Trade, after the latter began his 2-day visit to India. At the meeting, the External Affairs Minister recommended and commented on ties between India and Russia, stating that the two nations have had historic people-to-people ties.
Let me try to place the economic cooperation in a strategic context. Our partnership today is a subject of attention and comment, not because it has changed, but because it is not. Indeed, it has been among the steadiest of the major relationships of the world in the contemporary era.
The NIA has taken over the probe into the violent demonstration by pro-Khalistan protesters outside the Indian High Commission in London last month, and is likely to send a team there very soon to investigate a larger conspiracy. An SIT of the Kerala police probing the fire incident in a moving train earlier this month that left 3 people dead said Monday that the lone accused Shah Rukh Saifi was highly radicalized, and videos of controversial Islamic preachers like Zakir Naik and Israr Ahmed were recovered from his mobile phone. A massive fire broke out in the scrap compound in Mankur area of Mumbai. Police and fire tenders arrived immediately at the spot. And the Supreme Court has issued notices to the Nagaland Chief Minister, the State Chief Secretary and tribal leaders for repealing the Nagaland Municipal Act and violating an undertaking given to the court to roll out 33% reservation for women in local bodies after a gap of more than a decade. Now, in the Atique Ahmed murder case, the petitioner advocate Vishal Tiwari has demanded an early hearing from the bench headed by the CJI. Now, in the petition, an inquiry has also been sought under the supervision of a retired judge of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is slated to hear the matter on the 24th of April. So, in this Atique Ahmed murder case, the petitioner has asked for speedy hearing. Now, do remember that there was a plea that's been filed in the Supreme Court asking for the court to look into the killing of Atique Ahmed and his brother Ashraf. Now, what we are also given to understand is that in this petition, an inquiry has also been sought under the supervision of a retired judge of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had already listed the matter for hearing on the 24th of April. Rhythm Bhardwaj joins us on the phone line right now. Rhythm, we are given to understand that the petitioner in this case is asking for an early hearing into, the case of the killing of Atique and his brother. Can you give us more details, please?
Hello?
Rhythm, if you can hear us.
All right, yes, Nupur, yes, I heard. Today, Nupur, the matter the Supreme Court is going to hear on the 24th of April. This is a case of a demand that's been made for investigation of the murder of Atique and Ashraf in police custody. And in the petition, an inquiry has been sought under the supervision of a retired judge of the Supreme Court. So as this call was made before the Supreme Court has said they will hear the matter. So we're really going to keep our eyes open as to what will happen on the 24th. We also at this time remember what was stated by Rajya Sabha MP Mahesh Jethmalani when he said that we also need to pinpoint there's not the slightest shred of evidence of any conspiracy in the murders, and the entire opposition has already called the murders out as an encounter. So a lot of opposition also coming for, people whom we are calling as Atique Ahmed apologists, the lobby that continues to back them. But today in this case, as a demand has been made for an early hearing, the petition thought that there should be a supervision of a retired judge of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has agreed to hear the matter on 23rd of April.
All right, Rhythm, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. So Rhythm, of course, taking us through the latest. The case, of course, is going to be heard in the Supreme Court on the 24th. You are watching Republic TV. On the other side, Atique and Ashraf's killers make a big revolution, say that they were inspired by the gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. And there's complete mayhem on the streets in Sudan as at least 90 people are killed in crossfire between the army and the paramilitary.
दशकों पुरानी समस्याओं का समाधान होते हुए आज देश अपनी आंखों के सामने देख रहा है। और कभी कभी लोग कह भी रहे हैं कि हमने सोचा नहीं था कि हम जीते जी ये देख पाएंगे। ऐसा कई लोग कहते हैं और इसके दो प्रमुख कारण हैं। पहला, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों का आत्मविश्वास जो कहता है यस, इट इज इंडियाज मोमेंट। और दूसरा, भारत के 130 करोड़ लोगों की सोच जो कहती है नेशन फर्स्ट।
Your friend Mamta Banerjee, she says that आप कंसल्ट नहीं करते, like on disinvestment opposition should have been consulted.
हमने सोचना बंद नहीं किया। करोड़ों की संख्या में रिपब्लिक भारत और रिपब्लिक टीवी दोनों को देश में लोग देख रहे हैं। ये सब कभी ना कभी ट्रेन का सफर करते हैं। अब हम चाहते हैं कि वो ट्रेन का सफर अंग्रेजी में SUFFER सफर ना रहे, वो एक सुगम सफर होता है।
The crown of the leadership I confer to Prime Minister Modi of India.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी G20 इवेंट के दौरान नेताओं के साथ द्विपक्षीय बैठक करेंगे।
इस देश में बहुत समय के बाद एक ऐसी सरकार आई है जो सरकार टिकाने के लिए नहीं चल रही, देश को सुधारने के लिए सरकार चल रही है।
ये पहला एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ है जहां पे आप इस पर विस्तृत तौर से इन डिटेल आप बात करेंगे, तो लेट अस एड्रेस ऑल इश्यूज।
Dragging back economic fugitives, fantastic. But a crackdown on corruption alone is not enough to steer the economy.
That is where the reforms are not just to remove those who are with several cases of corruption and disproportionate assets. This will ensure that at a local level, no officer can go about saying, hey, I've come to inspect you without the system approving it.
You come from the northeast, but then the concept of integrated India, Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat ka, this concept is very relevant to every state and specifically the northeast. So I think it's the balance and between that, and I think the leadership along with the flexibility in the constitutional framework that we have is really what will allow this beautiful nation of ours, which has this complexity, yet, as you said, the nation first approach is really what is a way to move forward in. And so I think there is always a way forward, respecting the different communities, respecting the difference that we have, and yet keeping the nation first is really the way forward that we need.
The crown of the leadership I confer to Prime Minister.
A very good morning. Thanks for tuning in. India's biggest news event is back. The third edition of the Republic Summit will be held in the national capital this month. The biggest names, the biggest newsmakers, the biggest agents of change and transformation in India will be at the Republic Summit once again this year. So stand by for what will be by far India's biggest news event by miles. India's transformation is for us to celebrate together, to take pride in it together. So what does this time of transformation mean to you? Tell us what this transformation means to you and send us videos on the number flashing on the screens right now, 73044 and the most compelling responses will also get in-house seats to India's biggest news event, the Republic Summit. So join us in celebrating this time of transformation. Let's get started with the top headlines at 11 a.m.
यही नेता इन्हीं माफिया और डॉन के घरों में जाकर चाय पीते थे। उनकी राजनीति में, उनकी सरकारों में इनको संरक्षण मिलता था। अब ये सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ये सब इनके लिए क्यों बोलते हैं।
Tukre gang lionizes Mafia Don Atique. Union Minister Anurag Thakur takes on Atique apologists in a scathing attack. Atique and Ashraf killers make big revelations, say they were inspired by gangster Lawrence Bishnoi.
शासन की कार्रवाई करके पायलट साहब के करके बताओ, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा, फटकी का दूध याद आ जाएगा और क्या करेगा फैसला।
Rajasthan Congress yet to decide on revolt. Pilot camp throws a dare, says be ready to face repercussions. In Patna, a woman officer dragged, abused and attacked by Sand Mafia, but Nitish Kumar still silent. Mega roadshows, rallies and bigwigs set to file nominations today. It's a high prestige battle in poll-bound Karnataka. And it's a complete mayhem on the streets of Sudan. At least 90 killed in crossfire between army and the paramilitary forces. And we start with the news that's just coming in from Rajasthan's Jaipur, where a tourist was harassed on the streets while she was strolling. This incident, we understand, happened on Monday evening. The Korean blogger who was shooting a video of herself can be seen in this video on the streets. While she is strolling, there's a youth there who's seen flashing himself and trying to molest and harass this tourist who was making a video in this particular location. In fact, let's listen in to a reaction, that statement that's come in from the police official on the action that's been initiated after this Korean blogger was harassed and there was an attempt to molest the tourist on the streets of Jaipur. Listen.
सदर कोतवाली थाने में आज एक महिला, जो फॉरेन महिला, विदेशी महिला, जोधपुर भ्रमण करने के लिए आई थी, ब्लॉगर है वो, तो उसके द्वारा में सोशल मीडिया पर उसने कोई पोस्ट डाली। उसके माध्यम से हमें पता चला कि उसके साथ कोई अभद्र व्यवहार किसी लड़के ने किया है। उसका तुरंत संज्ञान लेते हुए हमने उस व्यक्ति को आइडेंटिफाई करके और तुरंत डिटेन किया और उसे कानूनन हमने गिरफ्तार किया। उसके पश्चात अब हम जो उसकी मेडिकल टीम के द्वारा भी उसकी जांच कराएंगे मानसिक तौर से, और अगर उसे किसी उपचार की जरूरत होगी तो वो भी हम यथासंभव प्रयास करेंगे।
And let's go across to activist Brinda Adige also joining us. Ma'am, your first reaction, this is beyond ridiculous to say the least. This youth is seen not just following this YouTuber but also flashing himself, and all of this happening in broad daylight on the streets of Jaipur.
Atiti Devo Bhava put to shame. But again, women, citizens are also not safe from these sexual predators, street sexual harassers everywhere in India. This particular lady, of course, has the luxury to put it up on the YouTube, and the police have taken immediate action, and that is great because they've also arrested this fellow but this is something that most women suffer on a daily basis across India. These are people who think that they can get away, and they do get away because our systems and our mechanisms are also very patriarchal. When cases of this nature are complained or brought to the police, they usually try to patch it up and, say that boys will be boys. You also hear politicians talking like that. This is street sexual harassment. We have a couple of IPCs to book these guys, and I hope that the police will do due justice to this case, because it has come with the complainant, it has come with proof and evidence, and the police has to now prepare a watertight charge sheet. Ensure that this guy is punished. It should be an example that is set to people. We cannot be having these people menacing on the road over there.
And ma'am, what do you think should be the kind of message that should be sent out with the kind of action we can expect next? Because let's not forget that this incident comes just months after another such incident happened in Mumbai as well, where this foreign tourist was harassed by the youth on the streets of Mumbai.
Yeah, first and foremost, the message that must go across is any such crime, violence against women, sexual harassment against women, will be treated with the seriousness that the IPC awards. We should not brush it off as boys will be boys. These are crimes, and these crimes will be duly punished, which means the police must also take cognizance in the serious manner that they have taken in this Jaipur case with the tourists. And tourists, women and otherwise or others, must feel that they are safe here. Of course, women citizens also must feel the same, but that apart, tourist women should not feel that this is not a safe place for them to come. That means the police must take action. All the cameras must be duly monitored, which is not done by the police. Only if that is done will there be this message that will go that street sexual harassment, any form of violence on women on the streets will not be tolerated.
All right, thank you for speaking to us. Let's see the kind of action that's initiated next by the Rajasthan police, because remember, even as a case has been registered against the accused in this case, he still remains on the run. And as you can see in those visuals and the video that we just played out, the vlogger from South Korea is seen crying for help, and even as she's seen crying for help, asking for assistance, there's nobody that can be seen to help out this girl. And as you see in those visuals also, beyond ridiculous, this youth who was not just stalking the vlogger but also is seen flashing himself, and all of this was captured on the tape as well. The latest we understand is that an FIR has been registered in this case, while the accused is still said to be on the run. Let's go across to Amardeep as well, who's been following this very closely. Amardeep, has the police been able to gather any clue about the whereabouts of this youth who's seen not just stalking the YouTuber but also flashing himself? All of this that has also been captured on tape.
समझा, इंडिया की सभ्यता है अतिथि देवो भव और राजस्थान की टैगलाइन है पधारो हमारे देश, और दोनों ही टैगलाइन को कहीं ना कहीं शर्मसार करने का काम जोधपुर में किया गया है। जिस तरीके से कोरियन यूट्यूबर्स युक्ति जो थी वो अपने खूबसूरती को जो थी, हेरिटेज को जो थी अपने कैमरे में कैद कर रही थी, उसी वक्त एक लड़का जो है वो उसका पीछा करता है, उसके साथ में छेड़छाड़ करता है, और उसके बाद में जो चीजें होती हैं उसको लेकर के वो लड़की हेल्प चिल्लाती है। यानी कि राजस्थान में अगर कोई विदेशी युवती हेल्प चिल्लाने लग जाए, इसका मतलब ये है कि सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंजिंग और सवालिया निशान है राजस्थान की पुलिस पर भी और राजस्थान की सरकार पर भी। सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि सारी करतूत जो है वो कैमरे में कैद हुई है, उसी कैमरे में कैद हुई है जहाँ जो यूट्यूबर कोरियन लड़की थी उसी के कैमरे में, और ये पूरा व्याख्या जो है वो पूरा ब्लॉग जो बना रही थी उसी में ये सारी चीजें कैद हो गई। इससे न सिर्फ राजस्थान की इमेज डेंट हुई है बल्कि इंडिया की इमेज भी डेंट हुई है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे टूरिस्ट हैं जो हिंदुस्तान घूमने के लिए आते हैं, उसके बाद राजस्थान की हेरिटेज को निहारते हैं। तो सबसे चैलेंजिंग पॉइंट ये है कि अभी विदेशी पर्यटकों के लिहाज से किस तरीके से राजस्थान पुलिस और राजस्थान सरकार इस चीज को हैंडल करेगी, क्योंकि अभी 151 में उस युवक को अरेस्ट किया गया है जोधपुर पुलिस को टैग किया किसी ने ये वीडियो, उसके बाद में पुलिस जो है हरकत में आई, उसके बाद उस व्यक्ति को अरेस्ट किया गया। लेकिन अभी सूत्रों की माने तो वो बताया जा रहा है कि वो व्यक्ति मंदबुद्धि था, लेकिन मंदबुद्धि था नहीं था। ये तमाम चीजें एक चैलेंज पुलिस के लिए बहुत बड़ी चीज बन गई है, सरकार के लिए बन गई है।
Amardeep, thank you for the moment for taking us through those details. Also note that this incident happened in Jodhpur in broad daylight, and Jodhpur being one of the famous tourist spots, remains to be seen the kind of surveillance that is ensured in Jodhpur itself, because this incident happened in the city in broad daylight on Monday. Until now, the accused still remains on the run.